Welcome to the Brain Gauge channel. This talk is on the brain gauge metric fatigue. Very simple measure, but it seems to be pretty effective. Let's take a look at it. Okay, once again, just to give you a quick review, if this is someone's overall score from the Brain Gauge app, and you can see they obviously did very, very well on that date. And right now I'm just pulling out reaction time variability because those are the scores that are used to compute the fatigue metric. And a couple of points about this. Number one is that the fatigue metric is just designed to see how well someone did at the beginning of the battery versus how well they did at the end. If they do much worse at the end than they did at the beginning, then their fatigue score will not be very good. If they do very well at the end or relative to how they did at the beginning, then their fatigue score will be good. Now, once in a while, you'll have somebody who has horrible scores, but their fatigue score will be good. And that's probably because they did extremely poorly at the very beginning on the reaction time test and on the very first one. So if they weren't really paying attention and they just sort of weren't used to the idea of testing, that often happens to be the case. They might score, say, 400 or 500 milliseconds on the first test, and then they'll be back sort of in range in the 300 millisecond range, and that would give them a good fatigue score. The other thing about fatigue, it is counterintuitive, because we want all our scores to be a full bar and green when things are good. 100% means actually that it's not fatigue. And basically, if you have a low score, obviously that means you are fatigued. Well, one other note is that if you do a short battery, if you just do the reaction time test one time, you will not get a fatigue score. The fatigue score was designed basically to see how well you did beginning to end, and how much did the task of testing, cognitive tasks, take out of you. That really shouldn't take that much out of someone that's healthy. But if someone is fatigued, it actually does show up. And we've seen this quite often on a lot of different neurological insults or disorders. It's one of the last things that people seem to recover from in concussion. But, this is all, it was all designed along those lines. We would love to take credit for that design, but actually somebody, after we'd been using this for a while, we actually found it in the literature in 1985. Somebody did the same thing. They did a reaction time test and then followed it with some more 15 minutes of testing and then another test. The bottom line is the fatigue test will work as long as you've got 2 reaction time tests and a lot of stuff in between to actually wear someone out. So that's the whole purpose of that fatigue test. Like I said, really conceptually very easy. And basically, if you have any questions about it, send them my way, and I will be glad to answer them. Have a great day.